jump into game number 1. Pale Horse Esports taking on the other team, and a great kickoff from Pale Horse Esports. Siki will be the one to respond. Already a shot onto goal. Siki has to jump on up, and he responds quickly as Pale Horse have just kicked this off nicely, and Kami will be the one to get a 5-second goal.
We did talk about them having a strong defense, but it seems like their offense has not been hindered at all. Kami working with his team to close out that first shot.
It was absolutely fantastic. Great positioning from Pale Horse Esports, and the other team already under fire with less than 10 seconds passing in our first series.
We have seen Pale Esports all the way through this competition having such strong offensive plays. So the fact they can get on the board this early says to me that it's only just going to get worse for the other team.
Well, this is a great setup from Pale Horse again, or Pale Heese, as Korea and Yummy would like to pronounce, but Jules is back into the defense. He plays the ball nice and slow, passes it forward, great passing play. Jules will be the one to follow it up, the 1-2 and the 3 around the corner. He finds it again. Setup is there. Pale Horse playing with fire, but playing very nicely. Sirix for the response, trying to prove that he's on point this game. Elusive will be there with the setup for Siki. Goes over to the left-hand side, and it will hit the corner, and we're going to reset.
Good pass plays, trying to keep that pressure slowly building on Pale Horse Esports' side. Unable to clear it out, though. They could be in a little bit of trouble.
Kia looks like he's put Aura in his name as well. I like the change. Calming. Trying to pass it around the backboard. Interesting plays so far from Pale Horse Esports, and they are continuing to drive with momentum. The one and only time I will say it. Jules in front of goal. Will not worry about Elusive just yet, but Siki is continuing this exact passing play that the other team are so good for. The shot into goal. Bounces, hits the crossbar. Bounces right on down, and Jules will get it the heck out of there.
Yeah, scary moment there for Pale Horse, but it does just showcase the other team is not out of the fight and willing to build that pressure over a full minute of attack.
Great pass to Kami. It's going to hit the roof. Come on down, slides it in, and Kia for the finish.
Nice shot there by Kia. Both of the 2Ks playing such strong offense. When given the opportunity, they're stepping up to the plate.
Look at that. Pale Horse Esports are on fire in game number 1, and they are coordinated. Every single play has been unique, and it has been Pale Horse showboating.
It certainly has. It's the accuracy that allows them to do this as well. They haven't had nearly as many opportunities as the other team, but when it does come, boy, do they put it away.
And they're winning these 50-50s. There's no challenge that the other team can really take. Elusive is waiting on back for the clear. The ball slowly rolling to him. Sirix will get it first.
Little bit of distrust there from Sirix, though, snatching it straight out of Elusive, ruining their entire rotation.
Sirix setting up. He's gone back into defense. And Korea, you have just talked about rotations and how quickly they're coming through. Kami's going to set it up again. The third goal. Nicely done, and Jules will secure.
Oh, beautiful touches there from Pale Horse. They've showcased that they can do the solo plays off the wall, and now we're seeing pass plays. These are a team that have everything open at their disposal.
That is the second time they've done that, and that has been coordination. The key for Pale Horse in game number 1. What an incredible team that is just making their way onto the pitch here today.
Yeah, this does put me in a really worried position for the other team. They are a team that when they get uncomfortable, distrust each other and do double touches.
I mean, that's the thing. Communication is key here, and again, another shot could be an opening as the other team are just struggling for the clear. Jules gives it over to Kia. It's going to hit the roof, bounce in front of the goal, coming into Kami. But he will not find it, so Jules, he's left in defense. Ball goes over the top of him. He jumps off the wall, tries to rotate back around. He has enough boost to do so and plays with the flexibility. As Sirix is there, there'll be a quick demolition from Siki. They'll use it to just slow the pace of the game in front of goals. He cannot win the challenge, and Jules, again, being the wall that Pale Horse need. Kami will get it the heck out of them. Pale Horse with 2 minutes to go and 3 goals are looking very comfortable.
Yeah, other team having all 3 players on the same side of the pitch did get punished by that clears, but they've created a bit more positional advantage out of that situation.
The other team are finally having some shots at goal. The ball's going to go back over to Sirix. He's got 2 members in goal though, and Pale Horse happy to rotate everyone back to defense, Korea, and pretty much slow this pace right on down.
Well, that's the upside to having Jules added to their roster. He's so good at those defensive rotations, so now they can play it safe, and they've got that 3-goal lead.
Shot after shot coming from the other team, but to no avail. As Sirix is going to pass it on back to Siki. There it is, off the backboard. You need to follow it on down. The timing not perfect as Elusive was trying to conclude that story. But the book has closed, and now Pale Horse, the Wicked Witch of the West, are continuing their assault into this goal. Jules has been set up, but it's okay. The other team will find the clear once again, and it is continuing to be a Pale Horse moment game.
We are seeing the other team trying to rotate and get possession back, but every time they get there, they're unable to get a meaningful shot.
1 minute remaining. That clock is counting down. Game number 1. Every single game counts here today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is so important. That demolition will buy some time, but not enough for the other team. The ball will bounce over the top of Kami. They leave it for Jules, and not really worried here, Pale Horse Esports, as the other team find an opportune moment. It's denied straight away.
They just can't do anything. Every time they get close to that third and final touch, the intercept comes through, ruins anything before it can really build.
There's so much coordination here, Korea. Pale Horse are playing so many risky passes, but they have so much more control of the ball.
Well, that's the upside to having that 3-goal lead. You can play a lot more with your position, because if you get punished, concede 1 goal, it's done. 15
seconds remaining on the clock, and the other team are struggling as hell to get near Pale Horse Esports, or yet the defense is just so great. Kia's playing around. He's going to set it up for Jules. Jules might have one more play before the timer comes through. He centers the ball. Nicely done. And you're clapping your hands because 4-0 is a very convincing win for game 1.
Oh, Jules, beautiful way to finish, showcasing just the talent this community team has brought to the competition, closing out 4-0 to the other team.
4-0 is just crazy, and the other team have been put up under so much pressure. 1 second, and the ball will not go into the goal. So it is a flawless victory for game 1. And hey, let's talk about Jules. We wanted to talk about him. We're ready. He had a fantastic game 1. 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 shots.
You can tell why they brought him back. 3 shots as well, and all of those shots led to ultimately goals. And 4-0, what a score to open it up.
Kami as well. Incredible stuff coming through from Pale Horse Esports, and really a conclusion in game number 1 that we weren't expecting. The other team putting up a fight, but it was just so... I think I've overused the word control. I don't want to use momentum again. I'm going to start thinking about words like their attacking was flawless. Their passing plays were exceptional. 4 5-man pass plays there.
Yeah,
like,
and they had the assists on nearly every... I think it was every goal scored. They had an assist
much,
on as well. So that's teamwork, bringing in those rotations real clean.
Exactly right. They know where the ball's going to bounce, as you should, but to that next level of reading the future. You see the difference, Corey, with a team that's kind of like, we're going to play in the moment, and a team that is great on setups. And Pale Horse right there showed they can do both, and the setups were exceptional.
Oh, 100%. That beautiful run pass of Jules down and to finish it off, that was just so good to watch. And I'm glad that's how the game finished, because it just showcased the talent.
Of course, only game 1, however, and the other team have an opportunity to bring this series back, but this great early start from Pale Horse Esports is going to give them that drive and really that cutting edge of building up the energy and completing this series if they have the opportune moment, which is now. 2 more games, they take the best of 5, they push themselves up. And they are looking exceptional in our Season 3 of League Play. We go into Game 2 now, proudly brought to you by Macca's. And here we go, the first shot from the other team. An opportune moment, Xerix will change the pace.
Just like the last game, 7-second start to show them who's boss. Maybe they've turned it around. This could be exactly what they need to re-energize.
Xerix hitting the ball about 3 times there. The other team, early goal, just like Pale Horse Esports did in game number 1.
That's all about the reversal. Hopefully this is what they need to bring out that expected win that we had from them. Xerix performing is critical to that.
That's exactly what Xerix did just then. Kia's going to play the ball around the corner. And we are seeing Pale Horse Esports maybe not getting the same start. Elusive has already pushed up, changing things around here for the other team. But it looks like their defense struggling a little bit as Jules again across the field. Pale Horse have done it once again.
It just shows you the communication and team play. All in position, all ready to finish it off. That was a full pitch 3-man pass play, completely coordinated.
Should Pale Horse be getting away with that, or is it just because it's so goddamn well read by the lineup? And the other team are 1-1. And now trying for their shot onto goal. Jules is there again, who's playing exceptionally well this week. Kami tries to drag the ball up himself to no avail as Ziki will run into him and Pale Horse and have another opportune moment. They're playing it back. They're playing it a little bit slow. We sit at 1-1 and every game counts, remember. Pale Horse, they want flawless.
And they are getting those beautiful pass plays and setups that aren't too risky when they start their rotation. So it's a good way to build that pressure when they break out.
Jules passes it up. Xerix reads the bounce over to the back wall. It's going to bounce on off of Ziki. Xerix coming through again. Chips it in, but Kiora is there in front of the goal. Going to be okay for now.
A little bit like Aurora. Say he's a bit of a shooting star for the team. Or a Night Star. But I can't even word today. It's all gone.
Korea, you can word. You're a clever man. Don't ever doubt yourself. Kia going to be back into defense. Great save from the defender of Pale Horse Esports over to Kami. And Kami will hit the roof and pass it on over. I just realized the crowd is doing the ole, 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 ole. Aussie, Aussie. You remember? No. Socceroos, man. Those were the good old days. I don't know. I haven't watched a soccer game in a very long time.
That's good. You're missing out on all the vuvuzelas.
The horn thing, or a great dodge from Siki. We'll actually just jump on over the top of Pale Horse Esports, and defense still a lot stronger from the other team this time around. The setup's good from Sirix. It's going to come off the back of Elusive, looking for fancy goals. Remember, he hasn't gone for the Batmobile again. Does it matter? I guess not, as he's going to be the one to sit in front of that goal. Off of the roof is Jules, but he might have just set it up for the other team. Shot after shot, it's coming through, and the other team are not quitting.
Yeah, they just don't have the pace to break through. They're slowly building the pressure, but good touches from Pale Horse have halted it before they get to the third and final one.
So how do they set this up? The other team are taking shots, but none are going in. Looks like Pale Horse committing a lot to their defense right now. Would rather have the one, or at least take it to overtime, or at least keep it the pace they want.
That moment there, we saw Sirix coming in, unable to rotate well with Siki, not trusting him, and it cost them the ball, and now they're pressured in their side of the pitch.
Yeah, so it changed very, very quickly. Kami centers the ball, and incoming through is Kia. How much freedom does he have? No, it's just Jules, and he bounces it on up to Jules once again. As he plays it around the corner, he waits for the ball to hit the ground, and Kami intervenes very, very quickly. Off the corner, this is a great center. It's going to go to the backboard, and Kami's going to switch back down in front of this goal square. The ball's already gone, as the other team will get there clear and get it successfully. Quick demolition in front of goal! Big play from Siki out of nowhere.
Great mechanical abuse there. Smashing him out with that demo mid-air. Beautiful to watch. That is how demos should be played.
Yeah, I didn't see Elusive coming off the wall, but that demolition came to a surprise. The other team with a very classy play at 140 left in this side. Taking that quick goal is going to mean the other team bring it on forward. How did Pale Horse respond? That was pretty sexy.
Yeah, you may have these great rotations that Pale Horse have shown us through the game, but if your defender's going to get blown out, they may have to start swapping things up.
Other team setting it on up again. Pale Horse will have the defense. Continuing on forward, the other team are having more and more shots, more and more capability to score this third goal, which could just lock away game number 2. Pale Horse under fire, not as clean and crystal as that 4-0 victory in the first one.
Yep, 100% hysterics. We saw just then 2 players committing to a ball and losing possession as a consequence.
So the other team are just continuing to fire on through. Possession hasn't been as great in game number 2 for Pale Horse Esports. Pass plays have still been quite exceptional, but the other team have finally caught on a little bit.
Yeah, they're starting to intercept their plays, stealing it from them, and reading them better. You can't do those aerial demos without a good read. And again, another one.
Speaking of which, yeah, exactly right. Sirix comes through with a demolition. It'll buy 3 seconds, but none more. There's 30 seconds remaining, and Pale Horse Esports continue to try and even up the score, but the other team are firing on through this pitch. Around this corner, the ball will be centered again. Intercepted by Jules. It's a good challenge. He'll get the ball again. No, leaves it for Kami. It's going to be bounced off by Elusive off of the corner. This is great for Kia. Kia tries to roll it down, but he will not find the aerial. Instead, a shot almost goes in from the other side of the field. With a second remaining, the other team have played this quite nicely. We have to keep it in the air. Pale Horse are not done yet. They're going to take it the whole field. The ball bouncing through! What was the positioning? Pale Horse could have found a goal there, but the other team will equalize.
Well, those final moments really did showcase just how it went down, with them unable to get that last goal because I was slightly behind.
But Sirix played a much better game, and when Sirix plays better, the other team play better.
That's it. He brings them all up and allows them to make use of all that talent they really have.
So, Sirix better. Siki was the one who did the demo.
Oh, that was
coming
filthy.
through. That was, before we knew it, you know, coming through, made the demo. I'm like, well, that could really open up the goal, but Elusive one step ahead and doing exactly what Pale Horse did in the first game. Thinking that step ahead and adding that level of dimension to your play.
Well, that's it, right? We saw them beat Jam,
Yep.
and you don't beat the top seed by just kind of fart-arsing around.
No.
They had to open up
3-0
new avenues.
as well, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was a murder. So maybe they're going to showcase this now. They're starting to get a read, and we have seen when Elusive, Siki, and Sirix get a read on you, they just intercept all the plays.
But I want to see more from Pale Horse Esports because those passing plays are exceptional. And I am so excited to see, you know, like drive like that in the OC community, because the thing is, these pro teams building up, ready for the next season, ready to go into RLCS as a potential. Well, with plays like that, Pale Horse have the opportunity to sit high in that ladder and contest teams like BFC, Jam Gaming, and even teams like the other team, or, you know, if we're talking about a team like Scylla Legacy, they have a lot of opportunity.
Oh, that three-man pass play was textbook. I would like put that in a YouTube video in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's more where that came from apparently. Is Scylla, look at this, sorry, Pale Horse Esports will kick off game number 3 nicely with that kickoff and all of that speed. The attack continues as Key is not done. He sends it through. It's going to go a little bit wide. We're going to redirect and have a look at Sirix now, as he would be the one go back into defense and the other team push the ball forward. Sirix will reach up to this ball, no problems whatsoever.
First team that has always started pressure in this series has taken the game. So this is probably a good indicator that Pale Horse is feeling ready and comfortable.
Jules cutting around this corner. Kami's here as well. Sirix misses the ball. Crucial moment as Kami was almost capitalizing on it. Sirix hits it back. It goes back over to Pale Horse. And Jules is going to play it off the center. Hits it over the top. Big play. Kami around the corner, centers the ball.
Nice touch.
But yeah, fantastic touch from the other team. But we're not done from Pale Horse. Setups there. Nice one from Pale Horse. I asked for it and they delivered.
As soon as the first player to get the aggression in this game, they close it out. Momentum is definitely a thing here, Jake. Beautiful goal to Pale Horse.
Damn straight.
You cannot let them into that corner because they will run circles around you.
Kami does this really cool thing where he gets up on the wall and he hits the ball down, sets up the pass. And it is so nice to see from Pale Horse Esports when they execute clean. And the other team just don't know what to do when these plays come into fruition.
Well, that's the terrifying thing. He goes on the wall. He can make it happen himself, or he can pass. Who do you go for? That's 2 cards you now have to care about, with maybe 1 person on defense.
That's right. It is hard to read Kami, and Pale Horse Esports have shown that when Kami gets in control and gets the ball, they can have so many opportunities lying in wait for the Pale Horse. Now it begins again as the other team are under fire around this corner. They have to get the ball out. Jules hits it twice, but Siki will redirect it and hang it on around. Kami, the ball goes back to him, our little superstar. Siki going to dribble the ball over the top. He finds it again. Going to pick up the boost ball. Leave it for Elusive. He gets destroyed anyway. Kia's sick of his crap. And Kia, he's going to be the one hanging back as well. Jules takes the ball himself, setting up for Kami. The ball bounces into the center. Where is the third player? He's hanging on back. Kia going to play it safe. 3 minutes with 1 goal.
Well, that was a crucial moment there. The third player had to hang back as Sirix went in and stole the boost from under his nose, halting any aerial plays and stopping the aggression.
Other team look like they really like demolitions. Kami, you can see quite an easy save as he just flies on through that net. Sirix tries to hit it on through with another shot. The other team are really struggling here. 2 minutes 30. They are constantly getting it up this side of the field, but to no avail as Pale Horse Esports continue with their offense.
Yes, Siki and Elusive aren't trusting each other as much as you'd expect, and it does mean they get input in scary situations where goals can close out almost from nowhere.
Yeah, missing that. That was too big for the other team. They cannot afford to miss shots like that. Another opportunity comes into the corner of the net. Was so close from Siki, and Kami will still be the hero.
Elusive wasn't ready there in the rotation, still stuck 3rd place, but couldn't come forward. Did cost him an opportunity.
1 minute 55. Here goes Siki taking the ball himself. Sirix bumps him out of the way. Miscommunication. I think they're looking to pass the ball over, but Elusive, has he recovered the ball? He has not. Potentially, as Sirix has popped it on through, Elusive waits on the right wing, but he's going to go back into defense, and Sirix, there's not much he can do.
Elusive does have boost now, so he will have the opportunity to come forward, but it seems like he's staying quite safely back and allowing possession straight to pass to Pale Horse.
Elusive has another shot, and Kia picking up the saves just as well as Kami. As Kami flies through the air, picks up the aerial. It is going to be Pale Horse still on defense. So good opportunities from the other team. But here's one opportunity you cannot miss. It's Pale Horse on the offense. And they get close each time. You're holding your hand. You're grasping your undying britches. And with a minute to go, Pale Horse, if they get a moment just like this again, things could go down the tube.
Well, that's exactly right, Hysterics, because every time they get the opportunity, they put away those goals, but possession and pressure are being built by the other team, and it's whether or not they can hold it that determines
But
them.
look at this. I mean, Pale Horse Esports, to put everyone in defense, it doesn't matter. Siki comes through, and the pursuit is enough from the other team.
If you grind them down long enough, eventually they have to concede, and that's what we see here with the other team. Their 3 minutes of pressure have eventuated into a goal.
1-1. 45 seconds remaining. What a showing from both of these teams in game number 3. Setting it up for the other team again. Opportunities lie in wait to those who take it. And right now, Pale Horse Esports have set it up again. One more shot in the net to finish the game. Opportunities wasted as 30 seconds. The clock will count and no one gets that goal.
That was a moment where both teams, miscommunications all over the spot, and they will be thinking of this for the rest of the afternoon.
15 seconds remaining. Is that an open goal? The other team score it, and Pale Horse have to be dreading the outcome.
That is an insane inversion of how this match should have gone.
The other team leading 2-1 after Pale Horse had 3 shots in a singular rotation of that goal. They've got to be kicking themselves. Can they recover? The other team have just found themselves an open goal again. Sirix misses the ball, but hey, they've kept the ball all the way down here. And 0 seconds, the ball will hit the ground and the other team will pick up a shocking game 3.
I'm thrown. I was not expecting that to happen, Hysterics. That was a beautiful comeback. And Pale Horse are going to be really uncomfortable for the rest of the afternoon.
Ball bounced down on top of that crossbar, right in front of the net. The other team did play the defense well, however, and Siki, look at that, 2 goals, 3 shots. There's some good stats coming out of the other team, and they are finally starting to step up. Game 1 looked like a travesty, but 2 and 3 have been a very different side from TOT.
Oh yeah, they're slowly ramping up the play, which is a scary thing, because if they keep playing like this, they're probably going to take the next one, and that's all they need.
And we did talk about, you guys were talking about in the analyst segment, you're talking about how important it is to watch other team here and say that these guys could potentially be one of the best teams in OCE.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have some experienced members, and we have someone like Elusive who has been around and has just been, I guess, a bit of a god who's been driving up in the Rocket League community.
100%. He can do pass plays, he can do midfield, and some of the angles we've seen him take, I'm hoping there's montages out of there, because they're just 20-degree angle shots from the corner. They're filthy.
Filthy is a good word for it.
They are
You've
filthy.
adapted it's not even jargon, it's just, how can filthy be jargon?
Let's go with it. It can be jargon now. It'll be a technical term.
You meant to
for
say
Rocket
no,
League.
Hysterics, you're dumb.
No,
Like,
I want to embrace filthy as new Rocket League
I
jargon.
like you more than Cheese Man. Don't tell him I said that. You meant to call me dumb sometimes. He would call me dumb. Game number 4, however, begins now as the other team will not be so filthy. Instead, they'll continue their clean aggression. Game 4, and they lead 2-1.
It's a lot slower this game, Hysterics.
It is a slower kickoff. Pale Horse have been getting their kickoffs really nicely. Not so slow anymore. Kia jumps on through, and the rotation comes through from the other team. Hits the roof. Great pass back. It's going to hit the roof again in front of that goal square, but it will not go into the net. Instead, Kami passes it on back. Dangerous pass. Interrupted by Kia.
Yep, interrupted by Kia, but unable to get the follow-up that I would like to see from him, with a bit of distrust of his team. Jules having to go in and not getting there as well has left him with an open rotation.
In that challenge, Sirix keeping it in front of the goal. The other team continuing on. They are just having these great pushes. But now how do we go for Pale Horse Esports? Well, around this net, they have another shot. It goes close again. Jules just tries to get the angle and he misses. But so it won't be the first goal of the game.
Yes, Sirix, good performance there on goals. He's playing up front and he's playing on defense as well. It's good to see him rising up and allowing the rest of his team to play the positions they're stronger at.
Pale Horse continuing with these long passing plays, but getting intercepted more and more by the other team. So how do they avoid this? How can they change this style of play? What comes
Not
next?
like that moment, Hysterics, where all three of them went for the ball, not trusting each other and costing possession almost immediately. And here is the punish, but a mistouch missed the goal.
Yep, and the other team are continuing on in front of this goal. They just will not stop. Pale Horse under the pressure, under the regrets of that game number 3. How do they fix it? Well, Jules going to take it himself, pops it forward. Who's the follow-up? It's no one, as the other team will get it cleared. And again, have another opportunity to score. There, right in front of the goal. The shot goes into Kia. Hit me up again, he says. Bam, wham. Oh, thank you, man. Maybe the wrong order, but for Pale Horse, it'll be enough to keep it at 0-0.
Yep, strong individual play is what Pale Horse is showcasing this game, but their inability to trust each other is really costing them the opportunities that their skill sets are affording.
Goal right in front there again. It bounces off, and Sirix will help Jules score.
Now they have that point on the board. Hopefully this will be the first step and them following up some good plays, leading them to breaking the score to maybe our first 2-2.
Our first best of 5 in a while, but one of the most intense best of 5s, I dare say. These teams both need the series win. Hell, they needed the game wins here. And a 2-2 is going to be close quarters. The other team could be facing a bit of disappointment if they do not find this series win. But right now, the other team are playing in form. Pale Horse are trying to respond. The first goal will be a start, but it is not enough. As we've seen in previous games, the other team can fight it on right back.
Yeah, Elusive unable to get the bump he needs. Bit of distrust there, but does allow them to get the clear nonetheless. Forced to rotate back. Maybe in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, a bit of mind games getting played here from the other team. They're going to pass it on back. They'd rather play it safe and a little bit more controlled. Pale Horse will steal the ball away and pass it upfield, but he gets cleared on right back. And the other team are continuing to take it down this side of the field. Pale Horse finally getting a little bit more control, and this is their response. Siki will meet Kia midfield. Now Kia trying to set it on up for Pale Horse Esports. It's good to see that they have brought it back to the offensive side once more.
Good touches there from Sirix. Both of his teams stuck in the enemy side of the pitch, but he managed to save 3 consecutive goals, maybe a 4th even, stopping that onslaught from
Exactly
Pale Horse.
right. Pale Horse Esports having some good shots here, none going in. The other team can kind of lament at that fact, but here we go again. Jules passing it to Kami, 1, 2, and 3, trying to slip it in. They kill Jules. Oh, the humanity. He will go down, but it is not enough time. He respawns. He's back alive. We've got 1 minute 10. The ball going in front of goal. Very dangerous here. Pale Horse capitalize well.
Great steal there from Jules, punching it away. Beautiful banger to finish, and 2 goals may be just enough to close this one out.
We've noticed both of these times the defense from the other team has been the factor in Pale Horse scoring. First time was off the back of Sirix. That time I believe it was off the back of, not Jules is wrong, Sirix again, I believe. So interesting play coming through, and the other team really getting the offense taken to them. And again, another shot for Pale Horse Esports. They lead 2-0. The other team cannot afford to make another mistake.
And their goal is being pressured, so another mistake may be coming their way if they can't get that clear. But Kia was there to stop any potential follow-up.
Yeah, 40 seconds remaining. Big moment for the other team. If they can't bring this back, it means they will be under keyword pressure. Pale Horse Esports are 2 goals ahead. And this will be our first best of 5 by the looks of it. Pale Horse have brought it on right back. The other team trying to get neck and neck. Get it the heck out of there, Pale Horse. You need to make sure they don't have time to work with.
And time is against them. 17 seconds is such a small amount to get these goals. And with the aerial passes, they're just bleeding the clock.
Kami, you just talked about aerial passes, and that'll help drain the clock. Continuously, Pale Horse Esports have surprised the heck out of us. And at 0 seconds, the third one will be no further surprise.
Might as well pad your stats, because every game counts, but when it comes to stats, every goal counts.
Every Pale Horse Esports goal has been a show reel, though. It has been something that you'd show to your friends, your family, your grandmother, your nuna, you know, your das vidanya, whatever. It's not even a relative. Let's say that means goodbye. Pale Horse are 3-0. They had so many shots on that goal. each game is changing pace, and I don't know what to expect coming into Game 5.
That's it. Jules has just been so aggressive.
100%.
He's just coming out. It's great to see his addition back into the roster and how much he brings every single game. He's just constantly bombarding the other team and forcing them on defense.
Jules performing well. The rest of Pale Horse, when it matters, performing well. We're going into game number 5 of our first series. Remember, we only got 3 series today, so we want the maximum out of them. We want the best, the baddest. And right here, Pale Horse versus the other team. That's exactly what we've got. The other team, in games 2 and 3, there was like a team possessed.
Oh, yeah.
So what changes in game 5? What are we looking for from both teams to make sure they're in their finest form?
Trust. Trust is 100% the most critical thing going forward. A lot of the goals are because 15 seconds ago, 2 guys go for the touch. One of them may get it, both are out of position, and then they lose possession of the ball and eventually get punished. Nearly every single goal that we have seen has been due to mistrust.
A lot of challenges, a lot more 50-50s coming out of the other team, going for those trusting plays with each other. And let's see if that trust and if that coordination from the teams, we'd normally say macro, but we're going to change that up week by week. The other team, Pale Horse Esports, they've taken it to game number 5. And we are crack-a-lacking as the kickoff will commence.
Sirix coming in, using that ability to get demoed.
Your favorite career, bit of demolition to kick things off. Pale Horse Esports setting up with a passing play, but Kia is not there on the left wing. Was necessary to finish it off. They go up for the challenge. Jules interacts, but Siki is the one for the response. Kami's there, takes it himself. Kia's waiting back. You cannot leave the ball. Pale Horse will capitalize well. Jules off the corner again and again. We are seeing Pale Horse set up these great passing plays. Kami around this corner again. Ball's going to bounce in front of goal around the backboard. Jules is not giving up yet. Demolition in the midair, and that'll slow it down.
That's what we saw earlier. Demos in the air as they read the opponent's plays. When this happens, they win the game. So this may be what the other team is switching on to do. And closing it out. That run pass. Sirix, beautiful play there, showcasing that he is going to step up to the plate.
The other team leave it in Sirix's hand. Let's talk about trust. And Jules did not trust that that ball would slide past him. Sirix will get the first goal of game 5. Individual prowess, and Sirix just showed it.
Momentum is not a lie. The other team in fine position. Sirix playing strong. The rest of the team comes with him.
Pale Horse not going to be respecting that goal, especially if they want the win. Over the top. Who can get back? No way. Sirix again. He's popped off. He's on point.
1, 2, and we're waiting for the third. Great shots there from Sirix, reading them perfectly, closing out those goals.
I was just bewildered by that. Absolutely bewildered by that. 2 goals for the other team. And boy, oh boy, has this kicked off game 5.
Yeah, they are in a very strong position going forward. And if they can just keep up this pressure, or even just play it nice and safe, they're just going to be able to win this, no questions asked.
Pale Horse Esports have just suffered at the hands of Sirix and the other team kicking off the game. MVP for this week might be Sirix at this rate, but we'll have to question, because Yummy Cheeseman does make those decisions. The other team continuing on their defense. Pale Horse Esports have a shot at goal. Let's redirect that camera, bring it on back. Thank you, Mr. Wolfie. Jules coming off the side wall. Here comes Kami, looking for the center. The net not wide and open. You have to get past a couple of people. Kami will get the demolition, but his attention has been redirected. And the other team getting these clears, getting so much more opportunities, and they keep up the defense as well.
Elusive allowing Sirix to move forward, taking advantage of the defensive positioning he has brought to the team, is just showcasing how strong they can be and flip this pressure right back round.
The other team, again and again, around this corner, they're playing off those rebounded balls. Siki's going to hit it on back, and Sirix is here. He's not going to set up for a shot, sets up for a better pass. Elusive's there, and Pale Horse have committed 2 to defense.
Scary moments when the other team is 2 goals up. They're one of the lowest scored against teams in all of Throwdown, so this is not where you want to be sitting.
Pale Horse Esports continue with this goal square, getting the ball inside that net. That's the name of the game. It's actually Rocket League. But the name of this certain game, with Game 5 being important enough for both of these teams, Pale Horse cannot afford a loss here. They've got 2 minutes to change their fate.
And boy, do they only need 30 seconds, but Siki is going to try take it to 3 with a crazy aerial play intercepted by Jules.
Very close, but the other team is still getting shots. Jules now, he's going to do the exact same. Passes it on down. Kami's there in front of goal. Ball be redirected to Kia. He hits it back. He gets the lob in front of that goal. The ball must go into that net. It must sink. Jules around the corner, takes it himself, sets it up. But the other team, their defense will not stop. It will not rest. Like a New York detective, it does not sleep. And the other team are doing a fantastic job to delay this game.
Kia coming in for that aggressive bump did mean that he missed his chance on the rotation to keep the pressure going, allowing Siki to try close it out.
On top of the roof, the ball bounces down, and Sirix is the first recipient. Again, over the top. Great lob by the other team. Just trying to get the third goal. It might close the game and shut Pale Horse Esports up for good. Or at least for this week. 1 minute remaining. The other team are comfortable as hell.
Double touch in the air again, halting the aggression. We're leaving the goal open if only one of them went for it.
It doesn't matter because Pale Horse have just not got as much time as they had before. It is slowly winding down. Jules around this right wing with 45 seconds remaining has to set up this pass play. It goes over to Kia. He tries to take it himself and he's done it. There's one goal. Pale Horse have 38 seconds to equalize.
It is very doable. We have seen them in 7 seconds close out goal straight from the kickoff. So this may be all they need to take us to overtime.
38 seconds. 1 goal. Pale Horse Esports. Not talking about Mum Spaghetti. The kickoff off the back foot. Jules has done it. We are 2-2.
That was in 4 seconds. They have 33 left. They could easily turn this into a 3-2 win and pull out this series from behind.
And what a setup from Pale Horse Esports. That kickoff was legendary. 33 seconds. A goal was scored in 5 seconds. You do not need that much time to get another one. It's anyone's taking here.
The game has slowed down. Both teams a little bit more cautious now and having to play it safe, and respect is real.
But Siki doesn't care much for respect. He pushes the ball forward. He's going to try and get past Kia around this corner. The other team trying to redirect the ball. They have one more opportunity for attack before we could just go to overtime. Who closes out the game? Well, maybe no one for just now, as we do see the ball with 1 second remaining. Kami probably just wanted to hit the ground. The other team is saying no, it will finally get down. And here's our overtime for Game 5.
Ooh, this is tense. 2 goals apiece, 2 games apiece for a potential final place in the gauntlet.
But maybe not.
And the follow-up is real. Unable to close it.
Again, the other team just coming through hot off that kickoff. Opportunity coming off the goddamn roof, baby! Pale Horse Esports, when it matters, they kick it off with a bang. He didn't come off the roof, he came off my heart and decided to motorcade that right into the net.
Kami reading it perfectly, beating out both other team members and then beating them out to take the series.
Kami, wherever the hell he flew in from, that was just beautiful to watch. The code word is there. And it's in times like this, you got to be McLovin that goal, because that secured Pale Horse Esports. That put them to the 3-2 win. It was a close one, but that is still a series win for Pale Horse Esports. Cheese man, what was that series?
I thought that Pale Horse Esports would come through so strong coming out of the gates.
Yeah.
We have not seen that play style from them. We haven't seen those passes, and they had 4-man pass plays, 5-man pass plays over and over again.
Yeah.
If they had kept that up through the entire series, it would have been a 3-0.
Oh, easy. Well, that's the big weakness they've always had. They haven't had the communication to make big, consistent pass plays. They normally do 1v1s and are a lot more scrappy.
So
I'll be honest, I really liked that Pale Horse won. Only because of that game 3 where Jules hit the crossbar. I was going to be like, no, they're going to lose now. They can't do it, but they just clinched it out.
And Jules is never allowed to play again, whereas now he's allowed to play forever.
I have to ask, though, because that Game 1 was a different team, like you said. That Game 1 was a Pale Horse Esports. Everyone could rally behind and looks like one of the best teams in OCE. So what changed in Games 2 and 3 leading on?
I mean, one of the big things when you have a team coming through new experience, They're not used to passing. It is very hard to maintain that structure, especially as the nerves get higher and higher.
Yeah.
The pressure gets higher and higher as well. But we did see something that we've seen in previous weeks, and that was Kami connecting every single goal. He's still the highest, well, he was the highest assists maker so far in the season, and he's increased that average this week. He got at least an assist every single game.
Exactly right. Kami has been a really important player, an influential player in Pale Horse Esports' career.
Well, that's the thing. You don't really know what to do when Kami's moving up the midfield.
You said it yourself.
If you come towards him, that's fine. He passes.
Yeah.
He opens up the opportunities for the other players. If you leave him, he's very happy wrapping around that corner, and he can then pass down or just take the shot from an angle you shouldn't be able to shoot from.
Yeah, and those passes from up on the roof
Oh, hell yeah.
from Kami. We're just talking, it's just a Pale Horse Esports. We're also impressed by the team, but Kami coming up from the roof, he would either hit it against the roof and pass it down, or hit it straight down. Just magical plays.
Exactly.
Some of the best wall passes we've seen.
So I wanted to ask you, because the other team had a really influential game a series in 2 and 3, and it felt like they were more responsive, and they were going for more of the challenges and more of the 50-50 plays.
I mean, the thing that in previous weeks put the other team way ahead was Elusive. And we didn't see Elusive this match. I mean, he got a couple of passes, but he didn't get any big dribble plays. He didn't see any huge aerial plays that we normally see coming from him. So they were missing a lot of their forward firepower.
But I think Cyrix stepped up in a way.
Oh,
Would you agree? I think that Cyrix shows
some struggles early on in defense,
Absolutely.
but he did step it up, especially last game.
I think that was probably a consequence of realizing Elusive wasn't playing as strong offensively, changing up their rotations a bit, pushing Cyrix forward, allowing Elusive to come back.
Well, it has been a very tough series, but congratulations to Pale Horse Esports. They'll push themselves up in the ladder. The other team will be struggling, but we'll talk about that a little bit later for you. Coming up next, however, this is our game of the week, because these are the top two. And Cheese, man, this is going to be absolutely big. BFC taking on Jam Game.
It's going to be a huge game. And not only that, we have a special guest analyst coming in. I'm not going to spoil anything. You'll just have to wait until after the break, I think.
Exactly right. We're going to be bringing him in next. So Cheeseman will disappear, and our special guest will be arriving in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Throwdown's Rocket League Challenge for Season 3